DeMarcus Ware is an amazing story. So he went to high school in Auburn, Alabama. And yet Auburn didn't offer him a scholarship. And Alabama didn't offer him a scholarship. So then he goes to Troy. And how good do you have to be that he was the first-round pick in the history of Troy? The Cowboys got him in the first round from Troy. The games aren't even on television. But he was overlooked a long time. Then he goes to Dallas, all-time sack leader, played for 12 years, 9-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame level guy, made quite a life for himself, and he is joining us now. He just got done fishing 15 minutes ago via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network, the great DeMarcus Ware. So what did you do, trout fishing? Is that what you did?
Sand bass. It was sand bass. There's no trout down here for sure, but I did sand bass. I caught about 24 or 25. I'm going to fillet those suckers up and eat them tonight.
How about that? Let's start with this.
Exactly.
So you were a first-round pick. So you made good money to start in the NFL, and then you negotiated with Jerry, and you also got a big deal for $75, $76 million, something around there. Dak Prescott was a fourth-round pick. He didn't get big money, and now he only gets a franchise tag. Do you think it's possible there's a little resentment, a little bitterness, because he didn't get paid all those years he was winning his division, and now he just gets a franchise tag? You think it's possible Dak is saying to himself, I've made Jerry Jones a lot of money, and I got 1 year. How do you think it falls for him?
I think that a guy in his position, you always just think about, okay, well, I made the playoffs a couple of years. I got the Dallas Cowboys back on the map. I know I haven't won a Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden I see Patrick Mahomes' deal, $500 million. I see a couple of other quarterbacks, $150 million. So it's almost like, what is my worth? I worked so hard to get to this point. Now I need to, I wouldn't say break the bank, but I need to have some savings. I need to create some type of wealth. And there was a very, very lucrative offer that Jerry Jones gave Dak. But maybe he thought that he was worth more than that. But to me, when you get into winning those championships, that's when you can start putting that stamp on things when you get to that point. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen this season.
By the way, Jerry, you signed a $78 million deal with Jerry, so you negotiated with Jerry. Is Jerry Jones a tough negotiator?
He's a very tough negotiator, but one thing you have to do is be very, very honest with him. He's going to be honest with you about how much you're worth, where you are on the team, and what he's trying to bring in to win championships. It's different. When you're the franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, no matter what, if it was Romo, if it was Bledsoe, and so on and so forth, everybody's gotten paid. And you're part of that, etching your name in that Dallas Cowboy star for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So you want to make sure that your money is stable when that happens. So I just think that, Dak being franchised is going to create a lot of, talk this season. But, hopefully everything goes well and he stays focused.
It's interesting. After 2 decades in New England, Brady goes to Tampa. And you went Cowboys to Broncos.
Right.
And regardless of what position it is, you were a Cowboy. You're a Pro Bowler. And then you wake up one morning and you're against them. And it's a different uniform, a different city, a different culture, a different coach, a different GM. Tell me the first year in Denver and what Brady will experience. How difficult is it? It's not just, hey, I put pads on, I go play. You have to learn a new culture, a playbook. How hard was it for you?
It was a very, very big challenge. Think about it. You played your whole career in one place and you think you're going to retire there. Then all of a sudden you got to change not only your colors, but your teammates. You got to change where you live. You got to take your family in a whole nother place. And I can see here where I'm getting an awesome sack. I love sacks, by the way. But I just think that everything changes and the best players take advantage of those situations. And that's what I did. I was able to go there and win a Super Bowl. I was able to get those teammates that I needed to be that champion. So for me, at first, I thought that if I put that orange jersey on, the quarterbacks would be able to see me a lot easier because it's almost like I was a deer in the headlights. But it wasn't the case. It was changing the name of the jersey, changing not your name, but changing the color of the jersey, a different atmosphere. but you're still a gladiator in the stadium. And when you're a gladiator in the stadium, you want to compete and you want to win football games.
Yeah. It's funny about this. When you look at Dallas and you look at Denver, they're run very differently. Dallas is very glamorous, Mm-hmm. And then Denver's kind of more like Pittsburgh Steeler feel. Like a lot of the news is private, out in the mountains. You don't hear a bunch about them. As a player, what did you prefer? The kind of the glamour that came along with the Cowboys, or sort of like football-centric Denver?
I wish that both of those can be merged together and have the football-centric part where you get that awesome 12th man, you get the 30-degree football weather, and you get the fans with their shirts off yelling, and it's a great advantage. But then you want the off-the-field stuff, the business aspect that the Dallas Cowboys bring to the table, the wow factor that the Dallas Cowboys bring to the table. And when you can have both of those at one time, that's when you have the total team. But you usually don't get that. You get the quiet team that's winning championships, or you get the flamboyant team that, that's not consistent, just being honest with you.
No, I get that. Listen, in Dallas, you had good teams. You didn't get over the top. And I think there's a lot of things I like about Jerry Jones. Were there times in Dallas, though, that you thought, we could probably do better staying out of the newspapers?
I thought that every training camp was one of the hardest things. I'm coming from Troy University, where there's one recorder, there's one video guy, and you only see that. His name was Famous Amos, by the way. And that's all you had. But during training camp, when you have to fly to Oxnard, which they're not doing this year, and you have the huge, they call it the Jerry Jones circus. Sometimes it can become a distraction. But the thing is, what that also brings to the players is a lot of off-the-field marketability.
Yeah.
And when you can play very well there, it helps you out and build a platform, which I have right now.
Yeah, you've done well for yourself. You're a Dallas gym and a fitness trainer, and done well for you and your family. Obviously, a beautiful home. So I've never been a big fan of the preseason. I think it's a ripoff for fans and a ripoff for players. I just don't like it. And the other thing is, every preseason is the same. I'm crossing my fingers that none of the star players get hurt. So the NFL this year, no preseason. You can be totally honest now. Did you like or hate the preseason? What did it mean to you?
I hated the preseason. I liked the OTAs. I liked the mini camp, and I hated training camp, but I knew we had to go through it because that's where you get, when people say the blood, sweat, and tears, the team camaraderie, who's going to be the leaders, and the identity of the team is built in the offseason. It's not built during the preseason. The preseason is getting rid of, letting the fans see what we're showcasing from all the hard work we had in the offseason, which they hadn't had an offseason. So with them saying that we're going to get rid of these 4 preseason games, I feel like now we need to think about these 4 weeks as the OTAs, the mini camps, the training camps that they have for only 4 weeks, packing all of that into 4 weeks. So they usually have about 3 months. Now they're packing it into 4 weeks. So hopefully they're able to knock a little rust off, because a lot of players, they can't work out without COVID, right? They can't go to the gym. They can't hardly see their teammates. They got to stay 6 feet away. They got to wear masks. So on and so forth. But now they got 4 weeks to get everything in place.
By the way, would you? I think if I've said this before, I'm mid-50s, and I work out every day, and
51.
I'm 55.
Gotcha.
So I work out every day. You're a pro athlete. When you were in your prime, I think if I was a pro athlete, I'd be like, I can play. If I get COVID, I get COVID. 50% of people are asymptomatic and they're not in the shape I'm in. But that's how I view it. When you look at the NFL right now and go back to your 27, 28 years old, would you be worried about COVID? Would you not be worried? Would you feel kind of bulletproof because you're in incredible shape?
I would say I would be in incredible shape. I would think about not only myself, though. I wouldn't say that for me. I'll be like, I'm in great shape. I'm not worried about COVID. Any of the younger players won't be worried about COVID. But what about my family? Grandma wants to come to the house. Granddad wants to come to the house. Uncles and nephews, or, your kids. I would worry about more of my family, them getting COVID and then them not being able to cope with it. I wouldn't worry about myself because I will be at my healthiest state. But what about them? That would be my only worry.
Yeah. By the way, now that you have your gym, you're in Dallas, how often, you played for 12 years and you played in the trenches. And people often talk about, I'm a big believer in going forward with football. I want fewer practices, better safety measures, because I love the sport, and I want guys to look like you when they're retired. So you played 12 years in the trenches. When you wake up in the morning, DeMarcus, how do you feel?
Right now, I feel great. My last year of playing, it took me about an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not going to joke with you. It took me an hour and 30 minutes to take a shower, walk down the stairs, get in the car, and drive to work and get out of the car. It took me an hour and 30 minutes, and it was only a 20-minute drive. And I couldn't move after every single football game. It was one of those things where I said, if I don't stop right now, I need to hang up the cleats.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they've changed so much from not having the 2-a-day practice, padded practices, having the special teams practice for 45 minutes. So you're out there for almost 4 hours practicing. There's a lot more shelled practices, a lot more mental reps that they're adding in there. And it's all about the safety of the players. They're gladiators. They're going to get out there in the stadium and they're going to perform and do what they need to do. But you can also get beat up during the OTAs and mini camps and training camps, and then you can't make it through a whole season.
Right. Well, you look great. You're in great shape.
Thank you.
You're going to eat your fish. What's it called again? What's it called?
Sand bass.
Sand bass.
I actually have my my meal right here.
Very nice.
We're moving and shaking, man. We're moving and shaking.
It's great seeing you. Look fantastic, bud. Appreciate you joining us on the show today.
Download the all-new Fox Sports app now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.